Dubai, located in the United Arab Emirates UAE, is known for its modern architecture, luxury shopping, vibrant nightlife, and thriving tourism industry. Here's a brief description. Dubai is a city of superlatives, featuring iconic skyscrapers such as the Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building, which dominates the skyline. The city is also famous for its artificial islands, including the Palm Jumeirah and the world archipelago, built off the coast. Beyond its architectural marvels, Dubai offers a blend of cultural experiences. Visitors can explore traditional markets like the Gold Souk and Spice Souk, where artisans sell jewelry, spices, and textiles. The city's heritage is preserved in places like Al Fahidi Historical Neighborhood, showcasing traditional Emirati architecture and museums. Dubai is a shopper's paradise, with enormous malls like Dubai Mall and Mall of the Emirates offering high-end retail outlets, entertainment facilities, and indoor attractions such as the Dubai Aquarium and Ski Dubai. For leisure and relaxation, Dubai boasts pristine beaches along its coastline, luxurious resorts, and world-class dining options that cater to diverse tastes and cuisines from around the globe. Overall, Dubai blends modernity with tradition, making it a dynamic destination that attracts millions of visitors each year for business, leisure, and cultural exploration. Dubai, city and capital of the Emirate of Dubai, one of the wealthiest of the 7 emirates that constitute the Federation of the United Arab Emirates, which was created in 1971 following independence from Great Britain. There are several theories about the origin of the name Dubai. One associates it with the daba, a type of locust that infests the area, while another holds that it refers to a market that existed near the city. In recent years, Dubai has been compared to Singapore and Hong Kong and is often regarded as the Middle East's premier entrepot. Area 13.5 square miles, 35 square kilometer pot. 017 EST 2,919,178. Dubai is a city of skyscrapers, ports, and beaches, where big business takes place alongside sun-seeking tourism. Because of its large expatriate population, it feels like a Middle Eastern melting pot, and the atmosphere is generally tolerant. Religious affiliations are not a prominent aspect of city life. Islam is the majority religion, but churches and Hindu temples coexist with Dubai's mosques. Dubai is a relatively crime-free place where administrative efficiency and openness to business have encouraged astounding growth. However, criticism of Dubai's authoritarian government and ruling elite is not tolerated, and there persists an atmosphere of discreet corruption. The western area of Dubai benefits from small stretches of sandy beaches, which have helped to catalyze the city's tourism industry. Dubai's rulers have sought to increase the city's limited seafronts, and in the absence of natural offshore islands, developers were encouraged to construct giant man-made islands off the coast of the city. The most famous of these is Palm Jumeirah, which has the shape of a palm tree. Others include the World Islands, a cluster of small islands positioned to resemble a world map when viewed from above. Dubai straddles a natural inlet called Dubai Creek on the southern shores of the Persian Gulf. For more than a century, the area was Dubai's center because of the early city's reliance on fishing, pearl diving, and maritime trade. Lining the creek are the oldest buildings in Dubai, most of which date from the 1960s and are rarely more than 2 stories in height. In the Bastakia quarter, on the western shore of the creek, some much older buildings have been restored, and many of these feature the distinctive wind tower design that was imported by Persian merchants early in the 20th century. The new city center is a string of skyscrapers lining Sheikh Zayed Road. Notable among these are the Emirates Towers, which were built in the late 1990s and early 2000s, and which house a hotel and government offices. Close to Sheikh Zayed Road is the Dubai International Financial Center, housed in a futuristic arch-shaped building, and the Burj Khalifa, which at the time of its official opening in 2010 was the world's tallest building. It was named after the President of the United Arab Emirates and Emir of Abu Dhabi, Khalifa ibn Zayed Al Nahyan. To the west of the skyscrapers lie several affluent suburbs, most of which house substantial villas. On their periphery lies the Burj Al Arab, a giant sail-shaped tower which is home to a luxury hotel. Farther west are new clusters of skyscrapers surrounding a man-made marina and several man-made lakes. Like much of the Persian Gulf coastline, Dubai has a year-round hot climate. Humidity is high in the summer months and moderate the rest of the year. The coldest winter month is usually January, with lows of about 15 degrees Celsius 49 degrees Fahrenheit, while the hottest summer month is July, with highs of more than 40 degrees Celsius 100 Fahrenheit. Dubai is the most populous city in the United Arab Emirates and the capital of the Emirate of Dubai, the most populated of the country's 7 emirates. The city has a population of around 3.6 million as of 2022, more than 90% of which are expatriates. Dubai was founded in the 19th century as a fishing village. Beginning in the early 20th century, it has developed into a significant regional and international trade hub, with a particular emphasis on tourism and luxury. Dubai has been a center for regional and international trade since the early 20th century, and its economy relies on revenues from trade, tourism, aviation, real estate, and financial services. Oil revenue helped accelerate the development of the city. However, oil production contributed less than 1% to the Emirates' GDP in 2018. Dubai has the second most 5-star hotels in the world and the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa, which is 828 meters 2,717 feet tall. Located in the eastern Arabian Peninsula, on the coast of the Persian Gulf, it is a major global transportation hub for passengers and cargo. In 2023, Dubai was the third most visited city in the world. The history of human settlement in the area now defined by the United Arab Emirates is complex and extensive. It points to extensive trading links between the civilizations of the Indus Valley and Mesopotamia, and even as far afield as the Levant. Archaeological finds in the Emirate of Dubai, particularly at Al-Ashush, Al-Sufau and the notably rich trove from Saruk al-Hadid show settlement through the Ubaid and Hafid periods, the al-Nur and Wadi Suk periods and the 3 Iron Ages in the UAE. The area was known to the Sumerians as Magan and was a source of metallic goods, notably copper and bronze. The area was covered with sand about 5,000 years ago as the coast retreated inland, becoming part of the city's present coastline. Pre-Islamic ceramics have been found from the 3rd and 4th centuries. Prior to the introduction of Islam to the area, the people in this region worshipped Bazir or Bajar. After the spread of Islam in the region, the Umayyad Caliph of the Eastern Islamic world conquered Southeast Arabia and drove out the Sassanians. Excavations by the Dubai Museum in the region of Jumeirah found several artifacts from the Umayyad period. An early mention of Dubai in 1095 is in the book of geography by the Andalusian Arab geographer Abu Abdullah al-Bakri. The Venetian pearl merchant Gasparo Balbi visited the area in 1580 and mentioned Dubai the Bay for its pearling industry. Dubai is thought to have been established as a fishing village in the early 18th century and was, by 1822, a town of some 700-800 members of the Bani Yas tribe and subject to the rule of Sheikh Tehnu bin Shakbut of Abu Dhabi. In 1822, a British naval surveyor noted that Dubai was at that time populated with 1,000 people living in an oval-shaped town surrounded by a mud wall, scattered with goats and camels. The main footpath out of the village led to a reedy creek while another trailed off into the desert and merged into caravan routes. In 1833, following tribal feuding, members of the Al-Bu Falasa tribe seceded from Abu Dhabi and established themselves in Dubai. The exodus from Abu Dhabi was led by Ubaid bin Said and Maktoum bin Bhutti, who became joint leaders of Dubai until Ubaid died in 1836, leaving Maktoum to establish the Maktoum dynasty. Dubai signed the General Maritime Treaty of 1820 with the British government along with other crucial states, following the British campaign in 1819 against the Ras Al Khaimah. This led to the 1853 Perpetual Maritime Truce. Dubai also, like its neighbors on the crucial coast, entered into an exclusivity agreement in which the United Kingdom took responsibility for the Emirates' security in 1892. In 1841, a smallpox epidemic broke out in the Burj Dubai locality, forcing residents to relocate east to Dera. In 1896, fire broke out in Dubai, a disastrous occurrence in a town where many family homes were still constructed from Barasti palm fronds. The conflagration consumed half the houses of Burj Dubai, while the district of Dera was said to have been totally destroyed. The following year more fires broke out. A female slave was caught in the act of starting one such blaze, and was subsequently put to death. In 1901, Maktoum bin Hashar al-Maktoum established Dubai as the free port with no taxation on imports or exports, and also gave merchants parcels of land and guarantees of protection and tolerance. These policies saw a movement of merchants not only directly from Linghe, but also those who had settled in Ras Al Khaimah and Sharjah, which had historical links with Linghe through the Al Qassim tribe to Dubai. An indicator of the growing importance of the port of Dubai can be gained from the movements of the steamer of the Bombay and Persia Steam Navigation Company, which from 1899 to 1901 paid 5 visits annually to Dubai. In 1902 the company's vessels made 21 visits to Dubai, and from 1904 on, the steamers called fortnightly. In 1906, trading 70,000 tons of cargo. The frequency of these vessels only helped to accelerate Dubai's role as an emerging port and trading hub of preference. Lorimer notes the transfer from Linghe bids fair to become complete and permanent, and also that the town had by 1906 supplanted Linghe as the chief entrepôt of the crucial states. The Great Storm of 1908 struck the pearling boats of Dubai and the coastal Emirates towards the end of the pearling season that year, resulting in the loss of a dozen boats and over 100 men. The disaster was a major setback for Dubai, with many families losing their breadwinners and merchants facing financial ruin. These losses came at a time when the tribes of the interior were also experiencing poverty. In a letter to the Sultan of Muscat in 1911, Bhutto laments, "Misery and poverty are raging among them, with the result that they are struggling, looting and killing among themselves." In 1910, in the Hyacinth incident, the town was bombarded by HMS Hyacinth, with 37 people killed. Dubai's geographical proximity to Iran made it an important trade location. The town of Dubai was an important port of call for foreign tradesmen, chiefly those from Iran, many of whom eventually settled in the town. By the beginning of the 20th century, it was an important port. At that time, Dubai consisted of the town of Dubai and the nearby village of Jumeirah, a collection of some 45 Irish palm leaf huts. By the 1920s, many Iranians settled in Dubai permanently, moving across the Persian Gulf. By then, amenities in the town grew and a modern quarter was established, Al-Bastakia. Dubai was known for its pearl exports until the 1930s. The pearl trade was damaged irreparably by the 1929 Great Depression and the innovation of cultured pearls. Collapse of the pearling industry, Dubai fell into a deep depression and many residents lived in poverty or migrated to other parts of the Persian Gulf. In 1937, an oil exploration contract was signed which guaranteed royalty rights for Dubai and concessionary payments to Sheikh Saeed bin Maktoum. However, due to World War II, oil would not be struck until 1966. In the early days since its inception, Dubai was constantly at odds with Abu Dhabi. In 1947, a border dispute between Dubai and Abu Dhabi on the northern sector of their mutual border escalated into war. Arbitration by the British government resulted in a cessation of hostilities. Despite a lack of oil, Dubai's ruler from 1958, Sheikh Rashid bin Said Al Maktoum, used revenue from trading activities to build infrastructure. Private companies were established to build and operate infrastructure, including electricity, telephone services, and both the ports and airport operators. An airport of sorts, a runway built on salt flats, was established in Dubai in the 1950s, and in 1959, the Emirates' first hotel, the Airlines Hotel, was constructed. This was followed by the Ambassador and Carlton Hotels in 1968. Sheikh Rashid commissioned John Harris from British architectural construction firm Halcrow to create the city's first master plan in 1959. Harris imagined a Dubai that would rise from the historic center on Dubai Creek, with an extensive road system, organized zones, and a town center, all of which could feasibly be built with the limited financial resources at the time. 1959 saw the establishment of Dubai's first telephone company, 51% owned by IL and 49% by Sheikh Rashid and local businessmen, and in 1961 both the electricity company and telephone company had rolled out operational networks. The water company Sheikh Rashid was chairman and majority shareholder, constructed a pipeline from wells at Oyer and a series of storage tanks, and by 1968, Dubai had a reliable supply of piped water. On 7 April 1961, the Dubai-based MV Dara, a 5,000-ton British-flagged vessel that plied the route between Basra, Iraq, Kuwait and Bombay, India, was caught in unusually high winds off Dubai. Early the next morning, in heavy seas off Al Quwain, an explosion tore out the second-class cabins and started fires. The captain gave the order to abandon ship, but two lifeboats capsized and a second explosion occurred. A flotilla of small boats from Dubai, Sharjah, Ajman and Al Quwain picked up survivors, but 238 of the 819 persons on board were lost in the disaster. The construction of Dubai's first airport was started on the northern edge of the town in 1959, and the terminal building opened for business in September 1960. The airport was initially serviced by Gulf Aviation Flying Dakotas, Herons and Viscounts, but Iran Air commenced services to Shiraz in 1961. In 1962, the British political agent noted that many new houses and blocks of offices and flats are being built. The ruler is determined against advice to press on with the construction of a jet airport. More and more European and Arab firms are opening up, and the future looks bright. In 1962, with expenditure on infrastructure projects already approaching levels some thought imprudent, Sheikh Rashid approached his brother-in-law, the ruler of Qatar, for a loan to build the first bridge crossing Dubai Creek. This crossing was finished in May 1963 and was paid for by a toll levied on the crossing from the Dubai side of the creek to the Dera side. BOC was originally reluctant to start regular flights between Bombay and Dubai, fearing a lack of demand for seats. However, by the time the asphalt runway of Dubai Airport was constructed in 1965, opening Dubai to both regional and long-haul traffic, a number of foreign airlines were competing for landing rights. In 1970, a new airport terminal building was constructed, which included Dubai's first duty-free shops. Throughout the 1960s, Dubai was the center of a lively gold trade, with 1968 imports of gold at some £56 million. This gold was, in the vast majority, re-exported, mainly to customers who took delivery in international waters of India. The import of gold to India had been banned, and so the trade was characterized as smuggling, although Dubai's merchants were quick to point out that they were making legal deliveries of gold, and that it was up to the customer where they took it. In 1966, more gold was shipped from London to Dubai than almost anywhere else in the world. Only France and Switzerland took more. At 4 million ounces, Dubai also took delivery of over $15 million worth of watches and over 5 million ounces of silver. The 1967 price of gold was $35 an ounce, but its market price in India was $68 an ounce, a healthy markup. Estimates at the time put the volume of gold imports from Dubai to India at around 75% of the total market. After years of exploration following large finds in neighboring Abu Dhabi, oil was eventually discovered in territorial waters of Dubai in 1966, albeit in far smaller quantities. The first field was named Fateh, or Good Fortune. This led to an acceleration of Sheikh Rashid's infrastructure development plans and a construction boom that brought a massive influx of foreign workers, mainly Asians and Middle Easterners. Between 1968 and 1975, the city's population grew by over 300%. As part of the infrastructure for pumping and transporting oil from the Fateh field, located offshore of the Jebel Ali area of Dubai, 500,000-gallon storage tanks were built, known locally as kazans. By welding them together on the beach and then digging them out and floating them to drop onto the seabed at the Fateh field. These were constructed by the Chicago Bridge and Iron Company, which gave the beach its local name Chicago Beach, which was transferred to the Chicago Beach Hotel, which was demolished and replaced by the Jumeirah Beach Hotel in the late 1990s. The kazans were an innovative oil storage solution, which meant supertankers could moor offshore even in bad weather and avoided the need to pipe oil onshore from Fateh, which is some 60 miles out to sea. Dubai had already embarked on a period of infrastructural development and expansion. Oil revenue flowing from 1969 onwards supported a period of growth, with Sheikh Rashid embarking on a policy of building infrastructure and a diversified trading economy before the Emirates' limited reserves were depleted. Oil accounted for 24% of GDP in 1990 but had fallen to 7% of GDP by 2004. Critically, one of the first major projects Sheikh Rashid embarked upon when oil revenue started to flow was the construction of Port Rashid, a deep-water free port constructed by British company Halcro. Originally intended to be a 4-berth port, it was extended to 16 berths as construction was ongoing. The project was an outstanding success, with shipping queuing to access the new facilities. The port was inaugurated on 5 October 1972, although its berths were each pressed into use as soon as they had been built. Port Rashid was to be further expanded in 1975 to add a further 35 berths before the larger port of Jebel Ali were constructed. Port Rashid was the first of a swath of projects designed to create a modern trading infrastructure, including roads, bridges, schools and hospitals. Dubai and the other crucial states had long been a British protectorate where the British government took care of foreign policy and defense, as well as arbitrating between the rulers of the Eastern Gulf, the result of a treaty signed in 1892 named the Exclusive Agreement. This was to change with PM Harold Wilson's announcement on 16 January 1968 that all British troops were to be withdrawn from east of Aden. The decision was to pitch the coastal Emirates, together with Qatar and Bahrain, into fevered negotiations to fill the political vacuum that the British withdrawal would leave behind. The principle of union was first agreed upon between the ruler of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, and Sheikh Rashid of Dubai on 18 February 1968 meeting in an encampment at Argab Al Sedira, near Al Semeh, a desert stop between the two Emirates. The two agreed to work towards bringing the other Emirates, including Qatar and Bahrain, into the Union. Over the next 2 years, negotiations and meetings of the rulers followed, often stormy, as a form of union was thrashed out. The nine-state union was never to recover from the October 1969 meeting where British intervention against aggressive activities by two of the Emirates resulted in a walkout by Bahrain and Qatar. They dropped out of talks, leaving 6 of the 7 crucial Emirates to agree on union on 18 July 1971. On 2 December 1971, Dubai, together with Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Ajman, Al-Quwain and Fujairah joined in the act of union to form the United Arab Emirates. The 7th Emirate, Ras Al Khaimah, joined the UAE on 10 February 1972 following Iran's annexation of the Arak-claimed Tans Islands. In 1973, Dubai joined the other Emirates to adopt a uniform currency, the UAE dirham. In that same year, the prior monetary union with Qatar was dissolved and the UAE dirham was introduced throughout the Emirates. Throughout the 1970s, Dubai experienced continued growth fueled by revenues generated from oil and trade, even as the city witnessed an influx of immigrants fleeing the Lebanese civil war. Border disputes between the Emirates persisted even after the formation of the UAE. It was only in 1979 that a formal compromise was reached, putting an end to disagreements. In 1979, the establishment of the Jebel Ali port, a deep-water port accommodating larger ships, marked a significant development. Initially facing challenges, Sheikh Mohammed initiated the Jafza Jebel Ali Free Zone around the port in 1985, facilitating unrestricted import of labor and export of capital for foreign companies. Simultaneously, Dubai Airport and the aviation industry continued their expansion. The Gulf War in early 1991 had a negative financial impact on the city, with depositors and traders withdrawing money and trade. However, Dubai rebounded in a changing political climate and prospered. In the late 1990s, various foreign trading communities, initially from Kuwait during the Gulf War and later from Bahrain, amidst the Shia unrest, relocated their businesses to Dubai. Dubai served as refueling base for Allied forces at the Jebel Ali Free Zone during the Gulf War and again during the 2003 invasion of Iraq. Subsequent significant increases in oil prices prompted Dubai to maintain its focus on free trade and tourism. The Burj Khalifa was opened in Dubai in 2010, surpassing the Taipei 101 and officially gaining its title as the tallest skyscraper in the world. In 2016, the world's first functioning 3D printed office building was opened in Dubai as part of a drive to boost the Persian Gulf's main tourism and business hub. Tourism is an important part of the Dubai government's strategy to maintain the flow of foreign cash into the emirate. Dubai's lure for tourists is based mainly on shopping, but also on its possession of other ancient and modern attractions. As of 2018, Dubai is the 4th most visited city in the world based on the number of international visitors and the fastest growing, increasing by a 10.7% rate. The city hosted 14.9 million overnight visitors in 2016 and is expected to reach 20 million tourists by 2020. A great tourist attraction in Dubai is the Burj Khalifa, currently the tallest building in the world, although Jeddah Tower in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia is aiming to be taller. Dubai has been called the shopping capital of the Middle East. Dubai alone has more than 70 shopping centers, including the world's second largest shopping center, the Dubai Mall. As of June 2024, the Emirate real estate developer Emaar Properties announced plans to expand the 12 million square foot mall at a cost of 1.5 billion dirham $408 million, adding a further 240 luxury stores, along with new food outlets. Dubai is also known for the historical souk districts located on either side of its creek. Traditionally, dhows from East Asia, China, Sri Lanka, and India would discharge their cargo and the goods would be bargained over in the souks adjacent to the docks. Dubai Creek played a vital role in sustaining the life of the community in the city and was the resource which originally drove the economic boom in Dubai. As of September 2013, Dubai Creek has been proposed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Many boutiques and jeweler stores are also found in the city. Dubai is also referred to as the City of Gold, as the Gold Souk in Dera houses nearly 250 gold retail shops. Dubai Creek Park in Dubai Creek also plays a vital role in Dubai tourism as it showcases some of the most famous tourist attractions in Dubai such as dolphinarium, cable car, camel ride, horse carriage and exotic birds shows. Dubai has a wide range of parks like Safa Park, Mushrif Park, and Hamriya Park. Each park is uniquely distinct from the others. Mushrif Park showcases different houses from around the world. A visitor can check out the architectural features of the outside as well as the inside of each house. Some of the most popular beaches in Dubai are Sukain Beach, Al Manzar Beach Park, JBR Open Beach, Kite Beach, Black Palace Beach and Royal Island Beach Club. MasterCard's Global Destination Cities Index 2019 found that tourists spend more in Dubai than in any other country. In 2018, the country topped the list for the fourth year in a row with a total spend of $30.82 billion. The average spend per day was found to be $553. In October 2019, Dubai loosened its liquor laws for the first time, under which it allowed tourists to purchase alcohol from state-controlled stores. Previously, alcohol was accessible only for locals with special licenses. The crucial policy shift came as the United Arab Emirates witnessed a severe economic crisis that led to a drop in alcohol sales by volume. In 2021, the UAE was ranked amongst the 20 most dangerous places for LGBTQ tourists to visit. In 2022, there were cases where a number of LGBTQ tourists who traveled to Dubai faced issues and were deported. In March 2022, Thai transgender model Rachaya Nokpakarun visited Dubai for her performance at the Expo 2020, but was sent back because her passport stated her gender as male. In another case, a French influencer on TikTok and Snapchat, Ibrahim Godin, was sent back from Dubai because the authorities assumed his male friend traveling with him was his boyfriend. Ibrahim filed a complaint for public defamation because of sexual orientation, and an investigation was opened by the Visul police. He said, "Dubai is not all pretty, all rosy as we see on social networks." Dubai has a jewelry manufacturing company called Acme Jewels. In September 2019, Dubai's ruler Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum ordered the establishment of the Higher Committee for Real Estate Planning to study and evaluate future real estate construction projects in order to achieve a balance between supply and demand, which is seen as a move to curb the pace of construction projects following a decline in property prices. The government's decision to diversify from a trade-based, oil-reliant economy to one that is service and tourism-oriented made property more valuable, resulting in property appreciation from 2004 to 2006. A longer-term assessment of Dubai's property market, however, showed depreciation. Some properties lost as much as 64% of their value from. A longer-term assessment of Dubai's property market, however, showed depreciation. Some properties lost as much as 64% of their value from 2001 to November 2008. The large-scale real estate development projects have led to the construction of some of the tallest skyscrapers and largest projects in the world, such as the Emirates Towers, the Burj Khalifa, the Palm Islands, and the most expensive hotel, the Burj Al Arab. Dubai's property market experienced a major downturn in 2008 and 2009 as a result of the slowing economic climate. By early 2009, the situation had worsened with the Great Recession taking a heavy toll on property values, construction and employment. This has had a major impact on property investors in the region, some of whom were unable to release funds from investments made in property developments. As of February 2009, Dubai's foreign debt was estimated at $80 billion, although this is a tiny fraction of the sovereign debt worldwide. In Dubai, many of the property owners are residents or genuine investors. However, the 2020 data from the Center for Advanced Defense Studies C4 exposed that a number of real estate owners in the city were either facing international sanctions or were involved in criminal activities. Some others were public officials, with a minimal possibility of purchasing it with their known incomes. The report Dubai uncovered mentioned names of 100 Russian oligarchs, public officials and Europeans involved in money laundering. Benefiting from Dubai's lack of proper real estate regulations, a number of corrupt people owned a house away from home, laundered their illicit money, and invested to store their wealth. Names of some of such questionable figures included Daniel Kinhan, Alexander Borodai, Roman Lyabikov, Tibor Bokar, Ruslan Basrov, Miroslav Vyabo and others. For years, Dubai has been labeled as a major hub for laundering illicit cash, primarily through its real estate market. Due to the UAE's lack of proper regulations and extradition treaties with many countries, fugitives found it to be a perfect hideout. The Dubai Unlocked investigation by journalists from 75 media outlets, in coordination with OCCRP and E24, revealed how Dubai's real estate market became a haven for criminals, money launderers, drug lords, fugitives, political figures accused of corruption, and sanctioned individuals to hide their money in Dubai. The investigation was based on 2020 and 2022 data leaks, primarily from the Dubai Land Department and publicly owned utility companies. The EU Tax Observatory and Norway's Centre for Tax Research evaluated that in 2022, the foreign ownership in Dubai's real estate market was worth approximately $160 billion. Until 2022, there was no obligation on real estate agents, brokers, and lawyers in Dubai to report large cash or cryptocurrency transactions to authorities. In September 2024, Dubai has tightened its crypto regulation by implementing stricter rules for companies promoting digital assets in the region. These regulations require firms to provide a disclaimer and disclose the risks involved in trading crypto in their promotional materials. One of the world's fastest growing economies, Dubai's gross domestic product is projected at over $177 billion in 2021, with a growth rate of 6.1% in 2014. Although a number of core elements of Dubai's trading infrastructure were built on the back of the oil industry, revenues from oil and natural gas account for less than 5% of the Emirates' revenues. It is estimated that Dubai produces 50,000 to 70,000 barrels, 7,900 to 11,100 meters of oil a day, and substantial quantities of gas from offshore fields. The Emirates' share in the UAE's total gas revenues is about 2%. Dubai's oil reserves have diminished significantly and are expected to be exhausted in 20 years. Real estate and construction 22.6%, trade 16%, entrepot 15%, and financial services 11% are the largest contributors to Dubai's economy. Dubai's overall foreign trade stood at $362 billion in 2014. Of the overall trade volumes, imports had the biggest share with a value of $230 billion, while exports and re-exports to the Emirates stood at $31 billion and $101 billion respectively. By 2014, China had emerged as Dubai's largest international trading partner, with a total of $47.7 billion in trade flows, up 29% from 2013. India was second among Dubai's key trading partners, with a trade of $29.7 billion, followed by the United States at $22.62 billion. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia was Dubai's fourth trading partner globally and first in the GCC and Arab world, with a total trade value of $14.2 billion. Trade with Germany in 2014 totaled $12.3 billion, Switzerland and Japan both at $11.72 billion, and UK trade totaled $10.9 billion. Historically, Dubai and its twin across Dubai Creek, Deira, independent of Dubai City at that time, were important ports of call for Western manufacturers. Most of the new city's banking and financial centers were headquartered in the port area. Dubai maintained its importance as a trade route through the 1970s and 1980s. Dubai has a free trade in gold and, until the 1990s, was the hub of a brisk smuggling trade of gold ingots to India, where gold import was restricted.